Hello everyone and welcome back to K-All. I'm your host Angel and today I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about something very important. BLACKPINK, BLACKPINK, ra-cha-cha-cha, ra-cha-cha-cha. Yes, no other than BLACKPINK. We're going to be discussing their recent tour, the Deadline tour, dun dun dun. And we're going to discuss how the media has been really warping what actually goes on at these shows. There's been way too much slander on BLACKPINK's name, and I am tired of it. I am here to tell you, don't believe the lies, don't believe the rumors. These girls are back and they're better than ever, and they are still born pink. BLACKPINK in your area, yeah. K-All in your area, yeah. So I want to start off this episode by prefacing that I have been a Blink since 2019, and BLACKPINK were actually the first group that ever got me into K-pop, and I definitely think it was for the better, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here doing this show right now, and I definitely drifted from them over time. I was locked in with the Pinks up until 2021 when I got into BTS. Now BTS kind of turned my world upside down. Anyone who's listened to the show before knows how much I love their music and how much I talk about them. But BLACKPINK have always been a constant. They're kind of like an anchor in my life. So whatever new groups are thrown at me, wherever I end up swaying off to, I know that BLACKPINK are always there when I'm ready to return to them, and their music is just as good as I left it. So, coming to this concert in 2025, I felt like my Blink sleeper cell agent was kind of reignited. It was activated. Suddenly, I was awoken and I could feel everything. My heart was burning pink, and I was ready to play with fire. It was really, really an amazing show, and we're going to go through everything as much as I can just to kind of bring it down to a nutshell and explain why this show was so truly phenomenal and needs to be spoken about, because I'm tired of the slander. I'm not about to miss BLACKPINK. So we actually arrived to the venue about an hour and a half early. We got there at 6:30 and the show was at 8, but that's good for me. Normally we're not that early when it comes to shows. And because of that, we were able to get some really cute little freebies. I have one right here. It's a keychain of Miss Jisoo, and she's doing a little heart, which is so cute. So I got 3 BLACKPINK keychains because we got there early. When you get there early, you get some freebies, which was pretty cool. I got double Lisa and 1 Jisoo, so I am going to give one of my Lisas to my dear friend Floor. Shout out to Floor. She is my fellow Blink bestie, and although we did not get to attend this concert together, she went night 2 because her dad surprised her, which is amazing. It was actually her little sister's first ever concert, and that's something I wanted to mention. There are so many little Blinks. I had no idea this whole new generation of BLACKPINK fans are emerging from the womb, because there were babies to 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 7-year-olds, boys and girls, and it was the cutest thing ever. They all were dancing, maybe not the babies, they were vibing, but all the older kids were dancing and feeling alive in the music. It was the sweetest thing. There were 2 young girls seated right in front of me and my mom, and it was adorable just watching them dance as hard as I was. I love to see that. But I digress. When we got there, I really had no idea that our seats were as phenomenal as they were. You know how good it feels when you survive the Ticketmaster war and then you end up at the show and you see how close your seats are? They're better than you could ever imagine, and it's just wow, I really did good. Especially when you're the ticketing friend, it feels good to see that seat and know that everyone in your party is going to come over and be like, dang girl, you're killing it girl. That's how I felt. I was very proud. We got end seats. It was next to the cameraman, so I was dancing for the camera the whole night. Type of girl that comes straight off of the screen. That was me. But it was so fun. So the second we got in there, they were playing all old BLACKPINK music videos. I was hype. I was dancing galore. Pink Venom, How You Like That, Shut Down, all of the specials, all the family favorites. I knew that this was going to be a perfect concert. The stage was far away because Citi Field's layout is ridiculous. It's the stage is in its own little ocean, and then all of even the lower bowl seats are many moons away from it. Even the floor doesn't have the best view. Not the most ideal seating arrangement, But it's okay because we were close enough that I could see all of the girls the entire concert. I could see the stage, the screen, the fireworks. The music was just perfect listening experience, so I'm not complaining. It was a great spot, and most importantly, there was dancing room. I just knew this concert was gonna hit me like a shotgun shot to the heart, as Taylor Swift once said. And at the beginning of the concert, they had this fun little countdown, and I was the only one counting. I have video proof of me being the only one counting, but that was basically a countdown to their Wild Wild West jump teasers of when the girls are in the middle of the desert looking gorgeous, looking like Victoria's Secret models, and it kind of just built up the anticipation because you see each of them one by one before the girls actually show up on the stage. Now, when they did show up on the stage, they kind of like rose from the under part of the stage, whatever it is you call that, which is very typical of a concert, but it was like in a plume of pink smoke. It was so pretty, and there were fireworks, and at that point you were like, oh, it is about to go down. They started the set with Kill This Love, which honestly is such a perfect concert song. Like, you forget how fun it is to rat-ta-ta-ta until you're actually there rat-ta-ta-taing. Gotta kill this love before it kills you too. Like, it just always hits. And they kind of like arose, there was like a cage complex underneath them, which makes sense because in the Jump lyrics they sing, breaking out of this cage, yeah. So the vibe is definitely there. They looked absolutely stunning, and right away, mics were on. Energy was there. The four had their core power, and it was really fun, and I did not realize how hard it was going to hit me. I was singing, I was screaming, I was feeling the vibe, I was killing this love. First I was killing a girl, now I'm killing this love. And it's always really fun to see the concert in daylight at the beginning because Kill This Love in daylight doesn't feel natural. You would expect that song to be a nighttime song because it's so intense, but seeing it in broad daylight was really beautiful. Like the pink lighting, the fireworks, the sky looked gorgeous as it was setting above Citi Field. It was truly a sight to behold. And right after Kill This Love, they went into Pink Venom. So we did in fact ra-ja-ja-ja, ra-ja-ja-ja, ra-ja-ja-ja. The intro always gets me with the kick in the door, waving the go-go. It hits so hard live. Blackpink's music was definitely created to be performed live. Like, it sounds great on its own, but when you hear it in person, it's a whole different experience. Like, they are the epitome of concert music, of Coachella music, of Blinkchella, Pinkchella music, some might say. And for Pink Venom, it was just such a vibe. The girls had energy from the very beginning to the very end. And the sky and the fireworks literally complemented each other so well because the fireworks had like a pinkish orange vibe and that was tinting in with the sky. It was just whimsical. I obviously was waving my Byungpyeong in the sky, which for those of you who don't know, Byungpyeong is the name of the Blackpink light stick. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but that is what it's spelled like, BBYONGPONG. And it is the cutest thing ever. So then after Pink Venom, they were like, how you like that, that, how you like that, bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. And we were bada banging, we were bada booming. That song is so much fun live, and I always forget how much I know the choreography of Blackpink's music because it's just so incredibly catchy. And that is like the benefit of them having a small discography. As soon as you hear the songs, you immediately know every part of it. Like, suddenly I am singing in Korean, and I don't know how it happens. I never learned the song. I never made attempt to learn the song. The song just kind of got to know me, and then it got to know my heart. And before you know it, I'm singing word for word like I'm the fifth member of Blackpink. So it was so good. How You Like That also had a bunch of fireworks. And they went right into Playing with Fire. They had like a 5-song run at the beginning with absolutely no stops, no conversation. They were getting right down to business. It was serious for them, and it was serious for me. Like, during Shutdown, I was rapping verse for verse. If I'm not rapping during a Jen Lisa verse, that's how you know there's a problem. Like, I could do the entire 25-minute Blackpink English raps video verbatim. Like, put that baby on, the lyric color-coded, and I will rap the entire thing. Obviously, Shutdown was great. We shut the place down. We played with some fire, and we shut it down. Now, after that, we went into the Deadline, like, VCR, and this was for Jisoo and Lisa. Now, I was so excited to hear Earthquake live because I have not heard any of Jisoo's new songs live. The only ones I've heard are Flower and All Eyes on Me. So this was an experience, and Jisoo brought out the most adorable preppy little outfit. I don't know how to describe it. An Argyle print, I think that's what it's called. She was wearing like an Argyle two-piece print that was very nerdy, very preppy, very cutesy, and she had her hair in a ponytail, which I love when Jisoo's hair is in a ponytail. Like, it's just chef's kiss. It's adorable. And Earthquake was so much fun. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that live just so I can go, I think I'm gonna what? I'm gonna explode? Like, yes, I do think I'm going to explode when I'm at a BLACKPINK concert. Ever since she dropped that song, I constantly hear that in my head, so it kind of just scratched the right part of my brain being able to hear it in person. And for Your Love, it was so beautiful. Like, just her voice is adorable. The way that she got lifted up and carried around on stage during Earthquake, too, ends up appearing later on in the concert, which we will get into. But Your Love is my favorite song on her album, Amortage. So I'm so grateful and a little spoiled that I got to see that. Even if it was a shortened version of it, it was just beautiful. And I was singing it word for word, and I do have proof of that as well. Now, anyone who wants to see the proof of all of these clips can check over at No Jams Journaling, my personal Instagram account. In the highlight reel, I have pretty much the entire concert shown there. I can't put it on YouTube or Spotify for copyright purposes, as well as Apple. Hello to my Apple listeners, but you get the vibe. Just believe. I was like, your love, your love, your love, it's like the rain, it's like a song I used to know, and your love is like the wave, there's only green lights driving home. Your love is like a Sunday when I've got nowhere to go. Oh, I love, I love, I love your love, your love, love, love. That was basically me. It was so good. I felt like I was harmonizing with her, even though I wasn't. And then after Earthquake and Your Love, oh yes, you can kind of see me singing along to Your Love here. I was living my best life. I am the #1 Your Love enthusiast, guys. But people always say that Jisoo lacks stage presence, or she's not really holding up when it comes to the other girls, and I really disagree because I think she has such a beautiful energy on the stage, and it wouldn't be the same without her. Her vocals are so gorgeous. First of all, visuals out of this world, and she's so funny. She's just such a character that she really brightens up the world with her existence, I think. Peace, love, Jisoo, Turtle Rabbit, Kim, okay? Real ones know. If you know, you know. So now after Jisoo, Lisa came in, and she, dare I say, she effed up the world. She had a very Look What You Made Me Do-esque intro, the way that she was wearing all this really cool black outfit, and it was giving Snake vibes, it was giving Reputation. She had a rose into the sky, very dramatic, very superhero movie. I think that she definitely should star in the next superhero movie, and I know that James Gunn is allegedly making a movie that's set in Korea, so hey, if you're looking for somebody to be in the film, I think La Lisa Manoban would be really, really cool. Say La Lisa love me, La Lisa love me. So she first started with Thunder, which is a song that is so crazy to hear live. It was intense, it was powerful, it was fun, and the drama, I love the drama of Lisa's set. It really got my soul kind of on fire. So by the time it went to F Up the World, I was out of my mind, completely out of my mind. Jisoo set, I was more at peace. I was oh, this is so pretty, and take me away in the beautiful, mesmerizing visuals and voice. She sounded lovely. It was just angelic. But Lisa was I'm about to change your entire life, and that's what she did. It's like Debbie Ryan. I said, I want to make history, and that's what this is. Something I loved was the way that Thunder was more blue and white lighting, and then F Up the World, full on green, La Lisa money, you know? You had that whole green vibe. The F Up the World energy was insane. I was singing word for word, line for line. The poor two little adorable girls in the front had to hear me rapping the entire time, never seen no girl like this. Stone Cold plus ice on wrist. As bad as it gets, face card crazy, denim my fit. I'm a chart topping exotic. It was just so fun. I was losing my mind, and Lisa is just such a performer. Lisa, I was unaware of your game. I had seen her perform at Global Citizen, and she was amazing, but she was more subdued in comparison to what we saw at this tour. I think she really grew into herself as a solo artist, and her releasing that album really gave her the opportunity to showcase her diversify genre. It was really good, and I know that she's featured on a new songwriting show on Netflix. If anybody has watched that, please comment below. Let me know about her episode if I should check it out, because I definitely will. I'm curious about the songwriting process of the artist who came up with some of the songs behind her recent release. Now, she did have writing credits on F Up the World, and I'm so glad that she did, because, man, that is my song. It's so good. And yeah, she brought the thunder. I was just having the time of my life. I just love her stage presence. She's just crazy. She definitely has some intense scenes. I mean, Lisa and Jennie were giving the bisexuals life at this show. That's all I can say. With the backup dancers, they were really going all in. And it was definitely crazy. It was insane. I was kind of losing it, especially during F Up the World. I was like, Lisa Manoban. She was so scandalous. But it was really good. She definitely turned heads with her performance and made a statement. So whatever that statement may be, it was fantastic. And then after F Up the World, there was another VCR, and then we came back to group songs. So Pretty Savage will always be that girl, will forever be that girl. I love how they kind of incorporate the frames into the scene every time. They switch up the Pretty Savage performance though each concert. It definitely doesn't have the same dramatic, like, feather boa vibe that it had from Coachella, but I kind of prefer the subdued version. I think the frames speak for itself, because Blackpink are pretty savage. They don't need like the whole hustle and bustle of old movie star glamour to really emphasize the song. All they need is them. And that's what I felt with this concert. Like, they definitely have such a great synergy, and they just look like they're having fun. They were having fun on stage, and I love that. And yeah, Pretty Savage definitely was incredible. But then they went into Don't Know What to Do. So as an old Blank, and I'm not that old, but 2019 Blank veteran, it really like brought me back. Suddenly, I felt like I was in 2019 again. I felt like I was in high school, which is not something I ever want to feel, but I felt like I was discovering Blackpink again for the first time. Hearing Don't Know What to Do and Whistle and Stay and Pretty Savage just brought me back. Even Lovesick Girls, it was just pure nostalgia, this section. So I like how they started off the concert with a mixture of new and old. And then Act 3, it was like, we're just bringing you back. It really was like a Blackpink eras tour in that sense. They had the eras of each of the soloists. They had the eras of the moments of Blackpink that made them Blackpink, and the more recent years of them booming into stardom. So I really enjoyed that, and I really appreciate the way that they set this up. Whistle was so cute because obviously they had Jisoo set the tone. They were like, come on, Jisoo, you got something to say. And then she did the whistle, and then boom, they made it whistle like a missile. Bomb, bomb. Every time I show up, blow up, And something I want to mention to any Blinks out there watching, if you guys know the Japanese versions of their songs, do you ever struggle between the Korean raps and the English raps? Because I always end up switching back and forth at the concert. It's so funny. I go from like Korean gibberish, because I don't know the Korean rap verses, to just straight up doing the English ones from the Japanese songs. If anyone else has this crisis, comment down below. Let me know if it's just a me problem. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. When they sang Stay, I almost started crying. Like, it was really emotional, and just like the colors, the visuals of the background. By this point, it was nighttime. It was so visually pleasing and appealing. Just like the orange background, it gave like that sense of nostalgia. I felt like I was watching the music video for the first time again, and just thinking like, dang, look at how much they've been through. Look at how much has changed over the years, with all of them each starting their own solo labels, but still making the conscious effort to stay together as a group, even amid all of that. It's just like, it's emotional. And even if this is their last concert, even if they decide to part ways after this as a group with YG, I truly believe the girls will always have love for each other, and they'll always somehow find their way back to each other, you know? Stay, stay, stay with me, stay with me. So it was really beautiful. And then Lovesick Girls always hits. It was really special this time because they did their typical chant at the end of the song with the "We are the lovesick girls," and then everyone was clapping their hands, and then the lovesick girls, and they spin around, and of course Jennie's "But we're still looking for love." So Act 3 was definitely the epitome of Lisa's song Dream, with the been drowning in dreams lately, like it's 2019, baby. That's how I felt watching it. It was just so emotional. After that act, we went into the fourth act, and the fourth act is Jennie and Rosé. Now, Jennie and Rosé's set was crazy. If Jisoo and Lisa got me pumped up, Jennie and Rosé took me to church and brought me home and just showed me the way around life. Jennie's didn't take me to church so much as Rosé's did. Jennie kind of took me to the club, took me to the dance floor, took me to a rave. It was just a whole lot going on, and it was remarkable. She started with Mantra, which was very reminiscent of her performance for the Ruby Experience, because she's like kind of up in the air and she's like, swerve off all the creeps, no weird vibes, we never let it ruin our good time. And she had an outfit with a little signature red, because Jennie's not Jennie if she's not wearing some red, you know? And she was also dancing very flirtatiously with her female backup dancers, which definitely fits the vibe of Mantra, since she says make you want to swing both ways. And it was really fun. She was insane. Like, the way that Blackpink do their body rolls too, they could literally body roll into a different dimension. Like, it needs to be discussed. Their body control when it comes to body rolls is like no other, and that alone they deserve respect for, you know? Put some respect on the Pink's names. She was definitely mesmerizing. Jennie is a performer, and it was so crazy, the transition from Mantra to With the IE, because With the IE is my favorite song, my favorite on Ruby, and I was losing my mind. I was like, no more cycles on your merry-go, straight lines of hate crime, villain in a scarecrow, you FNC a judgment watcher, then she floats nasty, flashy, wave-chopping motorboat, target on my name, but your aim is way off, why are you evaluating me on your day off? It's just such a good song, and she has like a swagger when she walks. There's like an oomph to her, you know? She got the jacket, she got the signature like Jennie glasses on, which set the tone for the next song, which was in fact like Jennie, and the crowd went wild. Everyone was dancing in that room. Like, you could see, she got the whole room spinning like it's Tipsy. It was crazy, and it was so much fun. After all of that intense dancing, we needed to slow it down. We needed to be more relaxed, and what better relaxation method than church say, than Miss Rosé herself taking us to church with her beautiful voice. And I was actually out of my mind at this point, because I was fully expecting her to sing 3 a.m. I did have the slightest suspicion she might switch it, because Toronto's crowd did not sing along with her, and she definitely put them on blast for that in a very jokingly and funny way by sharing the video on her story, like, hey, we gotta see a silence right here. But for New York, for City Field in New York, which yes, Blackpink did do that, as every K-pop group does, she sang 2 years. She debuted 2 years for us in New York. And I almost cried. I sang as hard as I sang at the Eras tour during Taylor's surprise song sets. I really felt like I was at a Taylor Swift concert in that moment, just because of Rosé's full ability to captivate a crowd acoustically, with just her, a guitar, and her voice. The way that she was singing, and to be clear, she wasn't playing the guitar, but she was singing only to guitar. And there was no backing track, just Rosé, just authentic vocals, and her delivery was insane. She just commanded the entire audience, and although I didn't hear that many people singing around me, I know that most people in that room knew the song, and I was singing word for word. I was feeling it in the depths of my deepest, darkest parts of my soul. It was just powerful, and I will always love that song because it's just so good. It gives me a Daylight vibe by Taylor Swift for some reason, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's just so beautiful, and she kind of even gave like a little beginning intro to the song, saying how she wrote it in Paris when she woke up crying one morning, and I think that by her capturing those real authentic moments of her life, she could help heal so many others, and it had to be so cathartic for her to create this album, Rosie. So I love that album. It's one of my favorites out of the solo pieces, and it was just overall so beautiful. She left me speechless, and not to backtrack too much, but before she came out and sang that song and made me cry a river, she had a little backstage intro where she was eating some Joe's Pizza, so I know that Joe's Pizza was getting a lot of orders later that night. That was pretty funny, and it was cute. She only took 2 bites, but you see she had to go back for more because it was just that good. And I love how she like really displays an authentic side of herself, Rosé. She's very real when she's on the stage, and I love to see that. She's just owning herself. She's confident. Rosé was low-key the leader. Like, I did not expect to see her leading BLACKPINK and leading the crowd just the way that she commanded attention and would talk to all of us. But it's so nice to see her growth and confidence after she first kind of resurged during her solo, very shy and timid and with her little anxiety stress ball. Again, very real, but now you can see she doesn't need that crutch anymore. Like, she's got it. She's a conditioned, proud solo artist, and I love that, and I'm happy for her. After 2 years, she sang Toxic Till the End, a song I've been waiting to hear live since she performed it at Jimmy Fallon, and I was so bitter that I couldn't be there. So I was so happy. She really brought us home with Toxic Till the End. It was so much fun screaming that song word for word, line for line. It was just amazing. Everyone was going crazy. And then, of course, apatu, 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 apatu. You can't be done with a Rosé set list if she doesn't add APT to the mix. So that was crazy. Everyone knew the dance. Everyone was doing the apartment move, and it was the cutest thing ever, kids included. And yes, it's a drinking game, but do they know that? No. And they don't care. It's just fun. Now, after APT, they didn't slow down with the energy. They went into jump. Hana, dul, set, twa. Do, 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 do. And it was so much fun. It was just as good as I imagined. You could see people dancing and jumping on like the 500 levels of Citi Field. Everyone was jumping. It didn't matter if you were in the nosebleeds or the floor. You'd be moving. And it was so cool to see, especially with all the light sticks. The light sticks really like emphasized everybody moving. So I loved to see that. It was just great. And the girls even commended us. They were like, you know what? We've seen crowds that have not jumped. New York, you were jumping. You absolutely jumped. And I think that is a testament to why they had so much energy at this concert. Everyone says that BLACKPINK are lazy and that they've lost it, but maybe the crowd's just not giving them what they need to propel everyone forward. In order to want to perform and give your heart on the stage, you got to know that the people who are there with you actually mean business. They actually aren't there just to gawk at you, but they're to celebrate with you, to celebrate your history as a musician, and to just feel the music and live it up and love it up, you know? Live and love, trivia love, as RM would say. So it was definitely there. The energy was there. They did a little shortened version of Boombayah too, but the energy was still just as palpable as it would be if they sang the entire song. It was so, so good. After Boombayah, they did Do, they did As If It's Your Last, and I really hope it's not their last, but if it is, I'm glad that I was there to witness it. And they sang Forever Young, and I danced my little heart out. I got absolutely no recordings for this portion, but I'm okay with that because I recorded it in my memory, and it will live on forever. Then after that, we had the encore, and the dance challenge was one of my favorite parts of the night. So when the girls were backstage waiting to get ready to come back out and surprise us, as all K-pop groups do, this is very customary, pretend the concert's over when it's not over, I was lucky enough to have the cameraman right next to my section. So as I was dancing to every dance, which they did Jump, they did Earthquake, How You Like That, like Jennie, Rockstar, Shut Down, like you name it, the security guard was like, hey, record her, look at her dancing. And the cameraman moved his entire gigantic camera directly towards me. So for every single dance, he recorded me dancing to it. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that when BLACKPINK's next documentary come out, or when they post YouTube videos from the New York concert, please manifest seeing me on that screen. And if you do see me, let me know, guys. DM me, comment on this video, whatever you gotta do, just tell me. I need to know if I'm there. So it was just so much fun. I was literally dying of heat exhaustion at this point, but I could not stop dancing. I was born pink. I had to do what I had to do. My little satin jacket came off immediately at the beginning of the show. I knew it was over for me. And then after that, they sang Jump for a second time, which is fitting because it is their only new song, so they gotta perform it. And then they did Really, which really threw me back, pun intended, and they ended it with an OT4 performance of Jisoo's Earthquake. Now, this might have been one of my favorite parts of the concert because the girls were just so free. It was so cute seeing them carry Jisoo around the stage, and the way that they were like da 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 da. Like they were doing her little dance with her, the little snaps. snaps. So adorable. I still can't snap for the life of me. If you guys know how to snap, also comment below. And if you don't know how to snap, comment below too. I want to know. I just need to know if there's anyone else like me. I want to know, what is love? It was really sweet because during the choreo of Earthquake, normally, Jisoo gets lifted up by one of the male dancers, so all the girls each took turns lifting her up as she was singing, and you could just hear the breaks in her voice and her laughing, and it was the funniest thing ever. Rosé's got some major core strength because she was able to carry her and like spin her around no problem. Jennie and Lisa were just goofballs. Lisa held her like baby bridal style, and baby bridal style is such a funny way to describe it, but you know, like she held her like a baby, or carrying a bride over the threshold, whichever one you want to call it. And then Jennie just kind of struggled to pick her up, but it was so cute. And I know for the second day in Citi Field they did like Jennie OT4 version, and they all whipped out the little sunglasses. So Citi Field was a lucky stadium. We were really blessed. And it just so happens that Nick Jonas happened to be there in the audience, and I had no idea until after the concert because my best friend Allie let me know, which it was funny because earlier that day he was also at the Aladdin showing that she was at. So what are the odds that Nick Jonas would end up in the same place as two best friends at two different occasions on the same day? It's odd, but it's never impossible. Now, I just want to say, to conclude this, because I've been rambling for 42 minutes, BLACKPINK gave their all on that stage, and they don't deserve to be called lazy every single moment of their life. I can't even explain how many times I've opened TikTok and I've seen people who aren't even K-pop fans join the lazy Jennie trend, saying like, oh, forgive her, her ankle was hurt 8 years ago, that's why she can't dance. And it's like, what do you get? Like, what satisfaction do you get by hating on another human being? And as Jennie said it herself, everybody's cool, but when I do it, I'm the problem. Gave you too much and it's given spoiled rotten. Got me stressed out being the trending topic. Because at the end of the day, whether Jennie is dancing her heart out or sitting on a chair, she still has more stage presence in her pinky than more of the online haters do in their entire body. And she's there for a reason. She made music, she paid her dues, she fought like hell to be in the industry. I mean, the fact that they survived the trainee experience that they did to become a group in 2016 is enough for them to kind of relax now. They don't have to always give 100% as long as they're giving something. And I think this speaks to the double standard in the industry when it comes to musicians, because there are so many male artists, not K-pop artists specifically, but a lot of American male artists who will walk on stage and spend more time drinking water than actually picking up the mic and singing a damn song. Or they can just sit in a chair the entire time and perform their songs and no one will bat an eye. But when it comes to women, we need to entertain, we need to perform, we need to put on a show that's good enough for the standards of the people who came to watch, that it is viewed as acceptable. And the funny thing is, the people who go to the show most of the time end up loving it, end up enjoying it, end up saying it was great. And it's the people who aren't there who choose to badger the girls over one clip that they'll keep perpetuating online to act as if they did bad. So in conclusion, BLACKPINK are amazing. They are definitely a force to be reckoned with, and they won my heart in 2019, and my heart continues to beat for them. So I am so grateful that I got to witness them. I have to say, it's one of my favorite concerts I've been to in a long time. My top concerts of this year have been J-Hope, Wave to Earth, Jin at the Empire State Building, and BLACKPINK. So thank you so much for listening to my little ramble today. I hope that you enjoyed. If any of you have attended the Deadline tour, I would love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below. If you had similar sentiments, what you felt. Actually, I have a challenge for you. Comment your top 3 songs from each BLACKPINK's solo work. Each of the members' solo albums, comment your top 3. I'll do it as well and I'll pin it. But that concludes this episode. Thank you so much for listening and for watching K-All. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, next up, I'll be at Jin's concert. Rope it, rope it, rope it. Bye!